Hi everyone! So today we're going to talk about gluten. You may have heard a lot about gluten in the media, and a lot of times it's not viewed in the most positive light, and people tend to be kind of scared of it. So I want to talk to you today about what gluten really is and the role it plays in the kitchen. So first of all, gluten forms when water is added to flour. There are these gluten molecules and gliadin molecules, and instead of dissolving in water, they link and form associations with both water molecules and each other to form gluten. Just to get a rough idea of what these two molecules are like, the gliadin proteins fold onto themselves and they bond weakly with each other and with the glutenin molecules. The glutenin Sorry, that's kind of hard to say. The glutenin molecules bond with each other in several ways to form this extensive tight network. The structure of these two molecules contributes to the plasticity and elasticity of foods such as bread. The coils and kinks, especially from the glutenin proteins, make dough elastic, and the weak bonds of the gliadin proteins make the dough plastic. So you're probably wondering what I mean when I say bread is elastic and plastic. When I say it's plastic, I mean the ball of dough can change shape, for example, when it expands in the oven. And when I say it's elastic, I mean it has the ability to hold original shape, so it keeps the loaf from expanding too much and popping. So now let's talk about controlling gluten strength. Controlling gluten strength is important when it comes to baking. In certain foods, such as bread, we want a strong gluten network to provide structure. But in something such as cake, having a strong gluten network will make it too tough and almost brick-like. Some ways to control gluten strength is by controlling the amount of protein in the flour, amount of water, the amount of stirring, or sugar, salt, and fat added. Adding or restricting an extreme amount of water will lead to a weak gluten network. The proteins in the flour need water to make gluten, so if very little water is added, there will be a crumbly texture that's good for flaky, tender pastry dough. On the other hand, drowning the flour in water will lead to a soft, moist dough, usually for cake batter. So a lot of times when we're creating bread, we want the amount of water somewhat moderate, not too little, not too much. Stirring and kneading will develop the gluten network more because when the dough is kneaded, it stretches and organizes the gluten proteins into an elastic network. That's why kneading in breads is important to create that structure. Sugar weakens the gluten network because sugar attaches to water molecules before they combine with gluten and gliadin molecules. Like I just mentioned, without the water, gluten can't form. So the type of flour used is really important when baking. Like it's listed here, for breads it's best to use bread flour, and for pasta we use semolina to create that chewy texture. And then for cakes and cookies we want to use cake or pastry flours. If you're not able to buy a variety of flours, all-purpose flour is good for a number of baked goods because of its moderate protein content. So you've probably heard of a lot of people being allergic to gluten. Most of the time, when people say that, they're talking about celiac disease, which is an autoimmune disease that damages the small intestine when gluten is consumed. About 1% of the population, a little bit under, have this disease. There's also people that are sensitive to gluten. But I work at a pizza place, and a lot of times people come in requesting gluten-free dough because they're trying to be healthier or watch their weight. A lot of people have the misconception that gluten-free automatically means healthier. This isn't entirely correct. Unless a doctor has told you not to consume gluten, you don't have to stay away from it. When people give up gluten, they often find it difficult to meet the nutrition requirements because of a lot of vitamins and minerals needed for our diet are found in whole wheat foods, which contain gluten. Of course, you know your body better than I do, but talk to a doctor before you make any drastic diet changes. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure to follow the blog. I really appreciate it. Thanks!